All right, now we should
What
have
up?
what? Okay.
What up?
What up? All right, you're just gonna see the picture, but you should be able to hear us now. But I want to do a volume check. I think we're yeah, it'll shut off here in a minute. Because audio seems to be always the issue. So I wanted to double check audio. You're probably thinking, how are their lips not moving? That's because it's a picture. It's an image, guys. Come on.
This guy says he can't hear us yet. Oh, yes, yep. Yes.
Correct, Rob. You can hear us. But how does it sound? How does the volume sound? That's always a big deal, it seems, with Slim
Does it
Studio.
sound awesome?
I got the volume turned up.
Chris, there is sound.
There is sound. All right. Now we are on us.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
So we're getting things set up. So if this is the first time you ever tuned into a Disc Golf Answer Man Live, it's usually on Tuesdays around this time. But we have some traveling going on. So this is a Disc Golf Answer Man bonus double feature week.
Bonus episode.
So we have Robert in studio today. So we're
Hey, sup?
going out on Monday, and we're going to record this for the audio version as well. So don't let me forget that, Robert. Where's my
Hey, you're gonna want to
audio
record
recorder?
that.
Ah, there it is.
I found it.
All right, so and then on Wednesday, Eric will be back from designing a course in New York, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll go live on Wednesday again, and we should have good times. That really picked up that electricity, didn't it?
Yes.
So anyway, so if you're just tuning in for the first time ever in your life, welcome. Where have you been all our lives? This is a live episode of Disc Golf Answer Man podcast where we answer your disc golf questions. Thanks for joining us. We got Robert manning the chat. So we're going to mostly concentrate on questions that got sent in through SpeakPipe or to our Google Forms, which can be found at discgolfanswerman.com. There's a tab at the top, submit your disc golf question. But every now and then we might bounce over to the chat and see what's going on over there and answer some questions over there. We got the 3-view camera view. So we got me. What's up, guys?
What's up?
And if you want to get a little closer and talk to Robert, you can talk to him over on his camera. But it's a party with all of us right here on
we are.
camera number 3.
That's right.
Is that from, what is that from, camera 1? Camera 2?
That's
Camera
Wayne's
1?
World.
Yeah, Wayne's World, that's right.
What a classic film.
I know. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
If you guys follow me on social media, follow me just about anywhere, Uncle Bobby Jr., you know that I just got back from vacation week with my wife. Had a great time. I actually have some video I'm going to share with you guys, a little picture slideshow. It's going to be kind of like, you invite your friends over and you're like, hey, watch my vacation
Check
show.
it out.
And
everyone loves that.
Everybody loves that. So I'm going to share that with you here in a little bit. But I had a great time. I went to Branson, Missouri.
Looked awesome.
Been there several times, but even this time we discovered a new place that called Top of the Rock. We'd never been before. I'd heard of it. Some beautiful mountain views. Went and saw a movie at the IMAX. We saw Mission Impossible Fallout on the huge IMAX theater. That was awesome. It was a really good movie anyway, but to see it on the big screen. Went to a couple shows. Went to the Samson show at the Sight and Sound. That was really good.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
That was
it
really good.
It's like a production, right?
Yeah.
It's like big
it's
deal.
a big Broadway production with and they had horses and camels and little pigs and what else? A llama.
Dang.
So it was good. Yeah, it was good. So if you're looking for something fun to do, even if you have kids, if you don't have kids, I would recommend checking out Branson because it's a really cool place. Now,
It is very slanted toward the older crowd.
see, now here's the thing. When I first went, it's very and it's still got that slant, but you can tell they're trying
Have
to.
they changed it
They're
recently?
trying to make it for younger people as
Sure.
well. Because
I'll say the last time I went, I was like 11. So it was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I remember my parents sharing that same event.
Sure, I mean a lot of it's still geared toward your retired people and stuff, and a lot of people go out there because it's I hate to say it, I like it. It's more wholesome family stuff. It's really geared toward
Wholesome.
family. You can take your kid to a show, any of the show, and you're gonna be okay with what he hears and sees.
Right.
Not saying any other place is better or whatever. It's just that's kind of what they're geared toward is more wholesome family fun. But like Silver Dollar City, within the last 4 or 5 years, they've added like 3 roller coasters, and some of them are like ranked in the top 10 as far as thrills and whatever, thrill seekers and
Really?
stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
the one they had that was brand new, we sat and watched people. I did not ride it. The Time Traveler, where you're sitting in.
I did not write it.
You're sitting in a seat where there's 4 seats, and you're sitting in there, and as the roller coaster's going, that's turning as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So anyway, so that was my week being on vacation. But Robert, you just got back from.
We went to
played a tournament
Des Moines 2 weekends ago, and then this last weekend, Shay and I just went and visited some friends in the Metroplex, DFW, and I got to eat Torchies.
I saw that.
Oh.
I was like, wait a minute. I only remember Des Moines, and I was like, where in Des Moines? How did he do it? How did he? I'm like, did he come home from Iowa some weird way to? No, you went to Texas.
And I would have if that was an option, but no, we had Torchies once because I wasn't the only one picking food. Otherwise, we probably would have had it more times. But it was fantastic. Somebody on my Instagram, when I posted the picture of Torchy, said, "Ask him about the secret menu. You'll thank me later." And I was like I don't know what the secret menu is.
Hello,
what kind of bush league is this, man?
We introduced you to Torchy, not the other way around.
I made the secret. I didn't. It's been around a lot longer than me. But it was fantastic.
Before we left for Texas. It was Saturday. I was in Bartlesville visiting family for my sister-in-law's birthday. But the birthday went until Sunday. But Saturday was free. And I looked at my wife. I was like, you mean we have nothing planned on Saturday?
Yeah.
I have no obligations? She goes, no. And I go, I'm going to go play disc golf. And I'm taking you out to Torchy's Taco. And
let's go.
She was like, what taco? What? No, we're fine. Blah, blah. And I said, babe, this is vacation mode.
Now listen.
We're going to Torchy's Taco, and we were supposed to go help my oldest daughter move some furniture. And I said, we're picking her up and her husband, and we're going to take them out to Torchy's. And they were like, okay, fine. What is this place, Torchy's?
It's just food. It's like whatever.
What is it?
But it's not. Torchy's transcends food. I'm just going to say that now.
Now, she did have the taco of the month, and she didn't think that was very. She was like, that was okay.
Was it in August or was it July?
It was. I don't know.
It would have had to be.
It was the screaming the steamboat something.
Okay, I haven't had that one.
Okay, so she wasn't impressed with that one, but the other one she had a Mr. Orange, and she really liked it.
I'm telling you, Mr. Orange is the taco. It is so good, man.
And they liked the queso and the chips.
Of course, you can't not like that.
And my oldest daughter, now all my daughters, we all like to eat, but my oldest daughter is the one that I know when there's good food, I tell her about it. And I looked at her, I said, so what do you think? She goes, all I'm thinking about is when I can come back.
Dude, yes.
And I'm like, you're a Torchy's torture. Or what do you call Torchy's? Torchiers? Tacoders?
Tacoders. I don't know. I've never heard that one, but that has promise.
A Torchian.
Yeah, you're
a
you're a citizen of Torchy.
Yeah, so she was already thinking about when she can come back and try some of the other tacos. So that was really cool.
Super good every single time. I've never gone there and been disappointed.
All right, so you remember when Disc Golf Answerman used to be about disc golf questions?
Nah, I don't. I personally don't remember that.
Okay, so before we go to it, though, hopefully I didn't mess this up. Let's see. We're going to take a look at this really. Yes. Okay, so we're going to take a look at let me get rid of this picture real quick. All right, so this is a quick slideshow. Okay, I'm sharing with my family here. We're going to watch a quick slideshow of Top of the Rock. This is some amazing views. You're watching it on the thing, right? Yeah, so watch this. So just sit back, and there's a few pictures I took at Top of the Rock, and a lot of Table Rock. Of course, that's why they call it Table Rock. Mm-hmm. But a lot of Table Rock rocks and just some really cool waterfalls. Oh gosh! Hopefully the volume wasn't too loud. It looked like it was peaking on my deal here, but
Thomas says, "There goes my ears."
I'm sorry.
Rip headphone users. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was going to blast like that on the audio. So we'll take a look at it later, and we'll turn down the volume. I'm kidding.
Dead.
Anyway, that's sorry about that, Rick. That was the Top of the Rock, and that was really cool. Just wanted to share that with you guys because we had a really good time.
We just wanted to stay in theme of usually disc golf commercials are way louder than the coverage.
So. Was it loud? Danny said it loud. So, I'll fix the volume next time when we go with the next slideshow. You're like, what? New slideshow? All right, so you want to jump into some... Well, first...
We have a lot of disc golf
we
questions.
do. Okay, so I got to start the recording for the podcast. Here we go. All right, so guys, so if you again, you guys know what's going on if you've watched this before, but if you're a first-time listener, this is kind of behind-the-scenes live of the recording of the Disc Golf Answer Man. So I'm going to start out the recording of the official audio podcast. If you just want to hear the audio stuff, if you don't want to hear all this other junk, you can just listen to the audio stuff via iTunes. Ready? Hey everybody, welcome to this episode I went country of the Disc Golf Answer Man. My name is Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Robert. I just ordered sushi from Japan, McCall.
Did I?
I don't know. There's a song called Jackie Chan.
I don't know.
And it says, I just ordered sushi from Japan. And I'm trying to figure, there's got to be like an underlying meaning. Like, I'm probably saying something really bad.
Yeah, maybe. It's entirely possible.
You haven't heard that song?
Nope.
Okay. I'm sure our listeners have heard
Is it pretty new?
It's fairly new.
I don't really listen to the radio, though.
Oh, okay.
I kind of stick to what I know.
Anyway, so how are you doing, Robert? You just got back from Des Moines and Texas. How did all that go for you?
Des Moines was super fun. I enjoyed being there. I didn't play very well, so that kind of sucked. One round, pretty good. The other rounds, very, very not good, but whatever. Sometimes you just don't have your best stuff, and on to the next one. So that's life. And then this last weekend, Shay and I went and visited some of her friends in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And that was good to be back in Texas and just get to see some people we hadn't seen in quite a while, some old college friends and things like that. And so we got to stay with one of my old roommates and his wife and their I guess he's not really a newborn anymore. He's 11 months, but now I'm at the stage where a lot of my friends are having children, and I knew them when they were extremely irresponsible. And so it's like, how are you maintaining this life? But they're doing this guy in particular, Josh, he and Michelle are great, and so it was good to see their child again, and then just hang out, man. It was good.
So did it give Shay any ideas?
No, we've been talking about when we want to have kids. And it's not like tomorrow, but it's not like
next Tuesday.
It might be next Tuesday.
Okay.
But it's also not like 4 years from now. Probably in the next couple of years is what I would guess. Yeah,
that's cool.
If we are blessed in that way, I'm hoping that we can have kids. Because some people can. And
sure, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you follow me on my social media, Uncle Bobby Jr., you'll know that I just got back from a week-long vacation with my wife in Branson, Missouri. Had an excellent time. You can see some pictures on Instagram again at Uncle Bobby Jr. and share along with that as well. So we are right back into Disc Golf Answer Man. For the audio listeners, you're probably thinking, why did this come out early? Well, we were gone last week, so this week is a Disc Golf Answer Man bonus audio, I guess.
Bonus footage.
Double feature week because we got some traveling. We have Eric McCabe is not with us today because I think he's either still or on his way. Maybe tomorrow he'll be on his way. Back from New York doing some course design stuff there. And Robert takes off for Ledgestone because are you playing? I can't remember.
I'm playing this
You're
one,
playing Ledgestone, so little work. I'm sure he'll be hanging out with some of our team players out there. So he's headed out to Ledgestone as well as Danny is going to go out there and play as well. So we got Robert in studio today to take care of some questions so that we won't get too far behind. Eric comes back late Tuesday evening, so we're going to get him in the studio on Wednesday to do kind of the same thing we're doing. So a little double feature Disc Golf Answer Man for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, you're welcome in advance.
Yeah, you're
2 episodes.
2 episodes. For the price of 1.
Yeah. That's a really good point now that you bring that up.
Yeah.
For our patrons, they're on Patreon. You don't have to pay for the extra episode. We don't have that yet.
So, what do you say we just jump into the questions?
Let's do. You know what? I remember when this show was about disc golf questions.
Right. First one comes from Jared. Now, hold on. I'm going to check my audio level, so let's make sure we're good to go. And we're going to hear from Jared on SpeakPipe. I got to get my other audio level.
Hit him with it.
What's up, Disc Golf Answer Man podcast? The Truth, Eric McCabe, the Don Juan, Robert McCall, the People's Champ, Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. This is Jared from up in the bold north, the Purple People Eaters, land of 10,000 disc golfers, Minnesota. My question for you today is going to be pretty brief, but it's a concept known in baseball and golf, ball golf, as the yips.
Hmm.
Now, I've been playing about 6 years. I fancy myself competent enough to be a professional. I'm entering in my first professional tournament, and I've been suffering recently with the yips. I had some back injuries, and then I had a sort of form breakthrough, and for some reason, I keep reverting back to my old habit of opening my hips way early and having my feet parallel instead of set apart a bit, and then I end up, either early releasing or just in general kind of fluffing shots much shorter than they should be, and that translates to putting as well. But I think it's mostly on the backhand drive. Forehand seems not to be affected. But yeah, I'm wondering, you guys, with all of your tournament experience and all of your experience just in general in sports in your life, how you've overcome or have you dealt with the yips?
Sweet. Great question.
Yeah.
I was going to define yips for everybody.
Yeah. I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Internets.
I'm not going to look it up.
What would you define it as?
Well, the yips is like when people call it the yips when you can't make short putts. So basically, it's like when you're fine motor skills is probably the best way to put it. When they just aren't acting the way that you're used to them acting, right? So kind of that's kind of what the yips is. Kind of when the pressure gets to you, or mentally you can't get over a hurdle, and so your body isn't acting the way that you want it to. That's kind of what I would define.
Right. It's defined in here as extreme nervousness causing a golfer to miss easy putts.
Yeah.
So basically what you said.
Yeah.
But you said it this way. I said it that way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What does Wikipedia say? Is it good?
Wikipedia says the yip is the loss of fine motor skills in athletes.
Hey, there we go. I like Wikipedia better than whatever that was.
The condition occurs suddenly and without apparent explanation, usually in mature athletes with years of experience. It is poorly understood and has no known treatment or therapy.
Right.
Wow, that's serious.
It's very serious. So, yeah, now this is not...
Is that the same as yippee-ki-yay? Oh,
wait, what? I would say there's... Yips is traditionally talked about with putting, but I think it makes sense to talk about when throwing as well. One question that I would ask you, Jared, is if your form is reverting back to the way it was before that breakthrough, when you're playing all rounds or just tournament rounds or just casual rounds, if anything, I would drill that down as much as you can in the field before you go play on the course again. Because I know this is something that I fall into as well. I know that I can get to where I spend too much time playing rounds and not caring as much about field work, and that's when I fall into old bad habits. And so I would recommend to you, get out on the field and drill that until that's the only form that you even remember anymore, and then go from there, take that into competitive rounds. That's what I would do. And you said it's some on putting, but mostly on throwing. Yeah, the more you drill that not in a competitive state, the better.
There you go. Next one comes from Anonymous.
All right.
Hey, Bobby. Hope all's going well down in Emporia. Wyatt Schaefer here. I'm from North Dakota. So we're having a disc golf random draw doubles tomorrow night, and I wanted to run a putters only round. Well, everybody in the league has some discrepancies over what is considered a putter. Being as if you go into the Dynamic Disc store, you can find the suspect under the putters page, or even on the West Side Harp, it's labeled as a mid-range putter. So I was just wondering if you guys had any wisdom as far as what is the defining difference between a putt and approach disc and a mid-range disc. All right, thanks, guys.
Does it come down to speed?
That's what I would say. Now, I'm surprised that the harp. I think the harp would be listed as a putter. What's the speed on the harp?
It is a speed 4.
See, that's kind of surprising to me because I think it's a little bit slower than that. I think the suspect is a bit faster. The harp is a bit slower, and you can tell in the rim the difference between the two. And so I would call the suspect more of a tweener to a mid-range, like a true approach disc. And I would call the harp an approach disc, but also feels more like a putter. It's deeper than the suspect as well.
What is this? Do you know off the top of your head? Or I can't remember.
Suspect is a 4.
For sure, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, if people are debating whether it's a putter or a putt and approach or whatnot, I would just pick a speed. Do we even have a putter that's a speed 5?
No.
So
speed 5 is definitely in the mid range.
So I would say if you're going to do something like that, say speed 4 and below, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't think anyone's getting like a huge distance advantage if they choose a suspect over a warden or something like that. So I would just say speed 4 and below or something.
So just for our YouTube listeners or watchers, whatever we got around 90 or so, what would you suggest? Do you agree with speed 4 and below, or do you think you should include speed 5? Or should it even, or should people just live with it and just say if it's a putter, it's a putter?
I brought this Explorer with me. It's what I putt with. So that's what I'll be playing with today.
So let us know in the comments, and we'll discuss a little bit. Next one is from Juho Avinen from Kuopio. Kuopio.
That's Juho Ovinen.
Let's see what he has to say.
Hi, guys. Bobby, Slick Daddy, Cool Breeze.
Nailed it.
Eric Emac McCabe, and Robert Never Bobby McCall.
Oh, that's right. Never Bobby.
It's Juho here from Kuopio, and I was wondering about the topic of teaching disc golf.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing for 4 years, and I'm the type of guy who goes out to the course and finds a random group of people to play with. And sometimes in those groups there are so-called newbies, people who are new to the sport. And they complain about their shots and wondering how could they add to their distance or accuracy. And I really like to give them tips. So I was wondering, what do you guys think are the requirements to teach disc golf? When is a person ready to teach? Would really love to know your opinion and to hear what you think. Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
This is the hell out.
Words.
This is interesting because I know a lot of people that they start up playing. They're playing for about 4 or 5 months, and they get so excited that they're like, I want other people to feel this excitement that I have for disc golf.
Right.
So they think they want to go out and they want to show their friends, and then they become teachers. And I don't know if there's a specific. I don't know if to say. You have to be a certain rating to teach, or you have to have played so many years or months to teach. I think it just depends on. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I'm sure if someone were to walk up and they would prefer, Robert to teach over me because Robert has a lot of more tournament experience. He's obviously much better at disc golf than I am. But what if? For some reason, now this isn't the case because I believe Robert's a very good teacher, but what if for some reason...
I suck.
No.
At teaching.
Well, no, yeah. What if Robert wasn't...
That's what I'm proposing.
What if Robert was not good at teaching, but for some reason I was able to break things down, even though I'm not good at executing them, I'm able to break down the fundamentals.
Right.
And that's just because of the way I have an understanding for how people learn and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's a specific time period. Sure, if you've been playing a week, I don't think you need to go out and say, hey, I'm going to teach a bunch of people.
This is the hard and fast. This is the only way to throw. I would not say that.
Right. So, I remember when I had been playing maybe 2-3 years, and I taught some Boy Scouts. And I threw it, and I probably threw it maybe 300. And there's like, oh,
dude,
wow.
Yes, it's awesome.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, they're impressed with that. Imagine if like Emac would have walked up and thrown for him and stuff like that. So, but I think I can teach the fundamentals, but there's at a certain point, I'm not going to get you to the next level.
Right. But yeah, I would
Does that
say,
make sense?
I would say that definitely makes sense. I would say, all right. So like I've talked about, I've started playing golf recently, and I'm sure I would greatly benefit from going to a swing coach like Hank Haney, who's a world-renowned PDJ swing coach, or PDJ, PGA, like a professional swing coach. Okay, but I would probably also benefit in a smaller way, but still a helpful way, from just like a local pro at a golf course, because he knows more about it than I do. right? And so I don't think that in order for you to teach, you have to be the absolute best at it. I think if you can get one or two things correct or the fundamentals pretty correct, that's going to be helpful to the people who are just starting out. And I don't think you need to be a great teacher to help people who are just starting out. Now, like you said, if you're trying to advance somebody to the next level or really make them more of an elite player or something like that, yeah, you're going to want somebody who understands the game better.
Right.
But to get started, man, yeah, I think anyone who works at Dynamic Discs has the tools to go and teach somebody, even if they don't play a lot.
The biggest thing that I have in my memory that really upset me was one time it was A-Ray. And it was a video, and he was talking. I can't remember if he was talking about putting or what he was talking about. But we had put a video out of A-Ray teaching this technique. And someone obviously looked up their rating and said, why am I listening to someone who's rated blah, blah, blah?
Right, yeah.
And my answer to that, what was interesting is the other comment said, oh, wow, I love the way he broke this down. He taught this really well. This is interesting. I'm going to try this, all kinds of good stuff. But this one guy just, why am I listening to a blah, blah, rated player? My thinking is if you are so close-minded that you can't even entertain the idea that someone of that caliber, whether it be high caliber or low caliber, has something to teach you, then you've already lost the game. Now, that's not to say that what he was teaching you might, in your mind, think, I already knew that, or right. I don't agree with that. But to just blow him off because of his rating, I think that's a little narrow-minded.
Sure. On to the next.
Mr. Anonymous again.
What's going on, Disc Golf Answer Man?
One quick thing. This Anonymous guy, I really hope he gets out and play because he has a lot of questions all the time.
He's curious about a lot of things.
Yeah, he is. Okay, hold on.
What's going on, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? I'm a new player. Been playing about 6 weeks now, and you're all's.
Yeah.
That's the end of the question.
You're welcome, Anonymous. I'm glad. Not sure what happened there. It looks like he ran out of time, but we'll see. All right, we'll move on to Jamison.
What's going on, Disc Golf Answer Man
he's
crew?
Back.
I am a new player. I've only been playing about 6 weeks, but the progress that I've made is largely in part because of your all's podcast, so I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Well, thanks.
I do have a question for you guys. I was wondering if when you guys get a new disc, you do anything in particular to break that disc in, or if you guys like playing with the brand new, little more stable nature, I guess, of the disc. Or I think I saw on YouTube one guy threw his in a dryer on low heat.
What?
And then kept folded it in half a whole bunch of times. I didn't know if you guys had your own little tips and tricks that you did to get a disc where you like it, or if you guys just play with it right out of the box. So anything you guys have, I appreciate. Thanks.
That's a good question. I like to just take the disc out and just throw it straight out of the box. I like to do that. If I have a disc that I need to break in for something, right? So say I had like a beat-in Defender that I lost and I needed to have another one. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of scuff up the bottom of it, hit some concrete, some streets with it. That'll alter the flight some. I also know that you can kind of fold the disc in half so that it looks like a taco with the rim on the underside, like on the bringing the bottom of the rim together, and that will alter the stability as well. Now I'm going to warn you against doing that always. Now you can do you can do it a little bit, and that's fine. But if you overdo it, it takes what used to be an overstable disc and kind of makes it really flexy. Instead of straightening it out, it kind of moves it to the right, and then you still have that big stability at the end. And so it's kind of interesting how that works. I have seen the dryer thing. Somebody will put a new disc like in a towel and then just let it go in the dryer, and that works fine. But I don't know, man. I say just throw the Frisbee till it beats up.
Right. I've seen all kinds of I've seen the scuffing on the ground. I've seen people throw it into the ground. I've seen people throw it at a brick wall before.
I've done that a while back, yeah.
Here's my thing is I get when you throw it if you're throwing it in a casual round or whatever, that it's totally random what happens. It hits a tree, it hits the ground, it hits a street, depending on what course you're playing on. But I think I almost feel like you're creating a abnormal environment or atmosphere for that disc thinking it'll beat in rather than just, like you said at the end, just getting out there and playing it and knowing it'll beat in.
Yeah, throw it on every hole, and I promise it'll beat in. Like, it's going to happen.
Like, I just got some new 2 deputies. I got the ones where they have my name on it, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. They got it from Lat 64 Custom.
Oh, cool.
They're putting them out where you can you could customize the name. So I have those, and I thought, well, these are going to be my putters because they're really cool. So now when I putt, obviously casual round, I putt with both every time to get just to have hit the chains, hit the cage. Not hit the chains.
You don't ever hit the
not
cage,
hit
though.
the chains.
You always
miss.
No, make every time.
So, but sometimes I'll putt and I'll make it. I go, oh, sweet, I made it, and I go, oh wait, grab the other one real quick and putt it because I want to get both of those broke in, so they're both nice and seasoned. So if I happen to lose one, the other one's ready to go, rather than grinding it on the street and throwing it up against a wall and stuff like that. So
agreed.
All right, next one is from Jared. This is from the Google Forms. I am currently serving overseas where I do not have access to a basket. Ooh, did I already say this?
I don't think so.
Shipping one overseas and back would be too costly to be reasonable for the 6 months I'm here. What do you suggest I do to maintain my putting stroke while I don't have access to a basket but do have my putters with me? I have plenty of space to do field work with my other discs, but no real good ideas other than putting into a light pole. I appreciate the content Disc Golf Answerman provides the disc golf community. Thanks. Well, first of all, Jared, you're serving overseas. Thank you for your service for sure. I appreciate that.
There's not a great answer for that. Light pole is probably a pretty good one. If you mark off kind of where the top and the bottom of the basket would be, you're going to beat up your putters a little bit more quickly that way. The only other thing I could think of,
going back to the other question,
chains, cage, no chains, ground, tree, whatever. Right. But if you have access to some sort of net, that's going to put less wear on your discs, and you could create whatever size target you want on there. That's about as good a guess as I've got.
I mean, you could almost rig up just even taking a cardboard box, and it doesn't have to be exact, but something.
Do they have refrigerators where you're serving? Get a refrigerator box, cut a hole in it, make it. You're welcome.
There you go. Something that teaches you your accuracy. It's not going to be the most ideal, and you're not going to become Ricky Wysocki off. Well, maybe you could. I don't know.
You might.
But it's something to teach you something to aim at and to successfully make the goal.
Yep.
Like a cardboard box or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Good call.
All right, next one is from
Steve.
Keep going. No, David. Hey guys, I recently ordered some EMAC Truths from your store, but both were signed by Eric, which was sweet, but they are slightly different. One is lucid with a flatter top, and one is moonshine. It is pretty domey, where it produces the heartbeat sound. In general, how does
it really good? Yeah, I was surprised.
I thought you were watching Police Academy, huh? With the one dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. Oh my gosh.
In general, how does a flat top or a domey top affect a disc's flight? What should I expect from these EMAC Truths while I'm waiting for a dry day to try them out? Thanks for everything you guys do, and thanks for signing my warden, Robert.
You're welcome.
You can't order a suspect or something for me, Maverick, and I'll sign it?
In your face.
Anyway, so yeah, sometimes different plastics, when they mold them, it affects them a little bit different, but I'm sure Robert has a lot of experience with the different domies and flat tops.
Definitely. Generally, this is general, but generally, the more dome that a disc has, the more overstable or even high-speed stable it'll be. That's definitely true in the EMAC Truth. That's true in discs like the Defender, the Enforcer. Felons would be an exception. Flatter Felons are usually more well, it depends on the run, honestly. And a lot of what that has to do with is the parting line height, which is where the mold comes together on the edge of the disc. If that's a little bit higher, usually that disc is going to be a little bit more overstable. When a disc like the EMAC Truth is flat, usually that means it's going to be straighter to slightly understable out of the box, or at least a little bit more so than its domey counterpart. So that happens sometimes, and I've got one domey EMAC Truth in my bag, and then one that's kind of in between, and one that's pretty flat, and my flat one is my turnover one, and so I assume you'll probably see some of the same.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to look at some fireworks photos that I took with my cool camera out at Branson, Missouri. If you are audio, you're probably thinking, why is he playing a slideshow? Well, maybe you need to tune into the YouTube Live.
That's right. Make sure the volume is down.
I'm going to turn the volume down, and we're going to check this out.
Get ready, headphone users.
All right, so we are back. We're
We're back.
And we're back. We're going to turn the volume up for our YouTube live people. So I used a preset on the camera I have, and it worked out really cool. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
That's sweet.
So, all right, next one comes from Drew. No, let's go back to Speak Pipe. This one's from Jeff.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. Love the video work you guys do and all the advice you provide. I just started playing the game in May and started with a driver, a mid-range, and a putter. After watching a bunch of Disc Golf Answer Man videos, among the many things I learned, one was that I didn't really need a driver starting out. Another thing I learned was to carry discs for each shot shape that I wanted to throw. Now that my technique and arm speed are a bit better, I'm making better use of that 9-speed driver I bought in my starter set. I carry 3 9-speed discs, 3 7-speed discs, 3 5-speed discs, a throwing putter, and a putting putter. For my 5-speed through my 9-speed discs, I carry 1 each, overstable, stable, and understable. My question is, why do so many disc golfers carry so many more discs than I do? Thanks for your time. Keep it real. Keep producing those great videos.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will keep it real.
So, why, Robert, why do people carry so many discs?
So, the idea, your general idea is exactly right. I like having each stability covered and each speed that I throw. However, a lot of disc golfers don't just stop at those 9-speed discs. They'll go up to faster discs. So for me right now, I'm carrying, I think I've got 4 Ballista Pros in the bag that go from pretty darn overstable to kind of straight to a little flippy to really flippy. And that's just what works for me. Now, I usually carry more discs than I need to just to be prepared. So if there's enough overlap between those that if I were to lose one of them, I could make the next one either way, kind of do what the last one did if I lost it. And so I think that's kind of why people do that. I also cycle through those. So once my slightly overstable Ballista Pro is moving right a little bit more, that'll probably be around the same time my really understable one is kind of like, on its last leg. So you shift everything down one and put a brand new one in there. That's why people do that, and I think it's a good way to do it.
All right, next one comes from Cardinal S. Cardinal S. He says, with a custom Dyemax discs, will more molds be added, or are the molds currently available set in stone? I'm a huge Westside Discs fan, and there are only 2 molds. Any insight would be greatly appreciated. Now, the deal with Dyemax, if you're not familiar with that, it's where we take, there's a process where we put the dye on the discs, and it's not just 1 or 2 colors. You basically put a photo on a disc. It's a specific type of printer that we have that we do that with. Because of the process, we can't put it on every disc because depending on how domey or how flat it is, that's how much better an image will look. So there's only certain ones, and then of course it has to be the white discs, right?
Yep. For
it to really, because you try to put colors on like a colored disc, then that is going to bleed through.
Yeah, it just kind of looks okay. Yeah. It's not great.
So it's got to be the white. Now, why only the 2 right now? Availability, the production that's happening over in Sweden and stuff like that. I can't tell you for certain that these certain molds should be available, but I do know that a lot of times it does change. So, check back maybe within 3 or 4 weeks and we might have more Westside Discs molds, but no guarantee there. Let's pick another one. Reminds me of Another One Bites the Dust. We were driving back from Branson, and I put on a Spotify, and I put it on, what was it? 80s anthems? No.
Okay.
No, rock anthems.
Nice.
And we were rocking out we were Lenny Kravitz, some Queen.
Hitting them with
some Def Leppard. We were jamming. Disc Golf Jobs. Hey, guys, Mac here again. This is from Mac Geggy.
That's what it looks like to me.
I've been thinking for a while now that it would be awesome to get a job in the disc golf world. I'm an industrial designer with experience in all sorts of digital media as well as in product design and engineering. I was wondering if you had any tips on ways to go about approaching companies in this field for this kind of work, or if something that is even needed. What does an industrial designer do?
Have you heard of Industries before? They design those.
They design industries.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, I
see these golf industry.
I designed it.
I designed it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
No, I mean, I think industrial designers deal in like bigger design products or projects rather, instead of like, he's probably not talking about, you know, little microprocessors or anything like that. I'm sure.
Like would he design like a cover for a case for an iPhone?
No, probably bigger stuff than that, I would guess.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. I am not an industrial designer.
If you know on YouTube, let us know.
Yeah, thanks.
So how does one go about well,
why don't you keep it real for a second?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. There's not a lot to be made in disc golf. I mean, we live comfortably. We do well for ourselves. I just don't know that we're big enough to warrant something like that. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to answer him.
Yeah. I'll also keep it real.
Are you gonna keep it real with both of us?
I'll keep it real for both of us.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that.
So the difficulty of getting a disc golf job is that there just aren't a lot of them, right? I feel really fortunate to be in the position that I'm in now because I didn't go looking for it. I was sponsored by Dynamic Discs before. I'd made a good relationship with Jeremy and with Bobby, Eric, and a bunch of the people who worked up here. And then when this position opened up, Jeremy called me about it, and I wasn't really looking to change positions at the time. I mean, really. And so I feel really blessed to be in the position that I am. And everyone thinks like, hey, it would be really cool to work in disc golf. I would love being a part of it. It's hard work. It's very much still a job. And it is, even though we're growing, right? Our company is growing. It's difficult to say whether we need, an industrial engineer or a designer.
All right. So this says industrial engineers typically do the following: they review product schedules, engineering specifications, process flows, and other information to understand methods and activities in manufacturing and services. I would say at this point right now, just from my understanding of a few disc golf manufacturers, I would say a specific person that's what they do, disc golf is not big enough.
We're probably a little too small for it right now.
Right, because a lot of we wear a lot of different hats.
Yes.
In the disc golf industry.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. So no, I could not see. Not saying that you, Mac, couldn't find a job, but if you're looking for a job to be an industrial designer, I put engineer. Maybe that's different. Do you think that's different?
I bet it's pretty close.
I think we're spending way too much time on this.
Maybe so.
This question. Industrial design is the professional services creating, developing concepts. Okay, so the same thing. So no, Mac, you're out of luck.
Oh, at least with Dynamic Discs for now.
Stop trying. Your dreams are over.
There might be companies that need that in the future. That might be somewhere where disc golf is big enough to handle that. But right now, I think we're probably a little small for it. At least we are.
Yeah. Next question comes from Dylan.
Hello, Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. Eric always tells the truth, McCabe.
That's true.
And Robert, just here to have fun, McCall.
That's also true.
I wanted to share with you guys something that I go through as a disc golfer, talking to non-disc golfers. I was wondering if y'all shared the experience. So it's quite common occurrence for me to be talking to somebody who either never plays disc golf or is not even familiar with disc golf or even likes golf, just doesn't like disc golf. And for them to respond with, oh, well, I could take just any regular old whammo frisbee out there and do the exact same thing you do. I was wondering if you guys have ever come across that response, and if so, how do you usually respond to it? Thank you for your time. As always, keep it real.
Yeah, I've come across that before, and in a really, really kind way, I'll always say, that sounds great, let's go play. And then they come out with their frisbee, and they throw, somebody with like an ultimate frisbee, really, really good throwers of that frisbee are probably throwing it at 200 feet. Pretty not good disc golf throwers can throw our discs a lot farther than that, a lot easier. So I just take them out and just like, not in a rude way, just say, yeah, then let's go play. And then we go play. and then they're upset because they can't do it as well as they thought.
There's different tools for different,
Right, but a lot of times those people are like, they have the bug at that point because they've seen what a disc can do, so they want to learn how to do that.
Right. Next one comes from James. Hey, guys, just found you guys a few weeks ago and love the format. Question, what's your opinion on using a glove for disc golf? I originally started playing, I definitely wouldn't want to use a mitten. Where it closes over just all your fingers.
Why not, man?
I don't know. That would be, maybe that Willett Heiser. Willett Heiser winter edition. We have to wear winter clothes in the summer.
Dang it.
Anyway, I originally started playing Ultimate as a handler, and I can do anything you can do with a whammo. What? No.
Wait, come on, man.
No, as a handler before disc golf and used gloves because of sweaty hands. Earlier this year, I bought a ball golf glove because very thin material, soft leather is similar in grip to my dry hand to play with, and it's been great. Why don't pros use it? Putting, I can see the touch issue, but other throws, I'd imagine consistent grip equals better.
I wouldn't want to throw with one of those because you're right, consistent grip is better, but my consistent grip is with my hand that I've thrown discs with for as long as I've played. Like that's the grip that I'm used to now. And in order for me to get a good grip with my thumb, I usually lick my thumb, and then that just creates an extra bit of friction on the top of the disc, and that's really all the grip that I need. I think people probably would be a little bit averse to using gloves because there is something between their skin and the disc. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say because, I guess you got a tight grip when you're throwing, so there would be that. But
any variance just feels weird.
Right. Yeah. So I know some people. What are they called? They're called friction gloves.
Yeah.
Right. I know some people play with it, but why not a lot of people? I think it's like you said. There's just, it's just like this is probably a terrible example.
Well, it's like trying to tie your shoes wearing gloves or not. It's way easier to use your fingers because you've used those for your whole life to tie your shoes.
I was thinking of more like I have these new socks now that are thinner. Mm-hmm. And when I put my shoes, now I have to tie my shoes tighter because there's just something different about the feeling of going from one sock to another sock. It just feels different. My feet slip a little bit more because they're thinner socks.
Yeah.
And there's just something different when you've got something else in there. It feels like there's going to be movement when you don't want that movement.
Right. I'd say that's why most people don't do it. If it works for you, go for it, man. Do your thing. That's awesome.
Next one comes from Zach Swanson. Zach Swanson. There we go. Oops. There we go.
Hello, Robert McCall me maybe.
Yeah.
And Eric, I'm only easy E because of years of therapy. And Bobby, lukewarm Papa slippery wind. My name is Zach Swanson from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And
Zach
I just had a question
daughter.
for you guys.
Swanson, Dove daughter. Anyway,
I've been playing disc golf for about 6-7 years. Really getting into it lately. Watching lots of videos, going out into the field, putting for 20 to 30 minutes every night. I don't get the opportunity because of my work schedule to play in as many tournaments as I'd like, or really maybe 1 to 2 a year. I'm just wondering if you guys have any advice on what more I can do to improve my game. I'm kind of hitting a plateau, and I play weekends. I work 70 hours a week. So any advice you can give to somebody who really doesn't have that much time to improve, I'd appreciate it.
Sweet. Go ahead.
Well, what does he want to improve? Does he want to is he on his local course? Is he shooting 3 up and he wants to do even? How much do you want to improve? And then you've got to set your expectations. If you're working, 70 plus hours, that's not, does he say a week?
Yeah.
So that's 30 plus over full time. So he's working a lot of hours.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So you got to set your expectations. Are you going to work a lot or are you going to play a lot?
Mm-hmm.
If you work a lot, you don't get to play a lot. So your improvement's going to be super slow. if any?
I would say the better you utilize your time when you are playing, that's going to dictate how quickly you can improve, right?
Well, sure, but he can't expect to go on tour in 4
Definitely
months
not that.
working 70 hours a week.
No, definitely not that. But if on the weekends when you have time, if instead of going to play a casual round or even a competitive round, you do field work and you practice putting, you're going to improve a lot more quickly that way than just going to play a casual round.
Right. And, without knowing you, we got 90 seconds getting to know you, when you're not working those 70 hours, what are you doing with your time? Are you playing video games? Are you hanging out with friends? Or are you in front of a basket putting nonstop, when you're not working? That's going to affect. I don't know that there's not a specific, okay, go do this, 5 steps, and you will be better because you work so many hours.
Right. Yeah, you're right. There's no magic system. It's just if you want to put in the hours, if you want to get better, like, you have to grind.
Also, if you download our book at $59.99, it will. No, I'm playing.
That does have the secret system, though. I forgot to mention that.
I don't know why that made me think of that. It's like some kind of sales thing.
Zach messaged me on Facebook too, so we've been talking some, trying to help him out some.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is from Roger. I recently purchased the Pro Pool system. However, there seems to be very little information out there on how to train with resistant bands. I'm keen to use it for training during the dark winter nights to add to my normal training. Any general help or advice on working with bands? That's that one that simulates.
It's got the disc attached to it.
Yeah.
And really, the only advice that I have for that is just make sure that they're working the muscles that they're supposed to, right? And when you're working with a resistance band, especially if it's for the purpose of disc golf, you want to make sure that you're pulling the disc through as you would throw a shot, not just all arm or only turning your body. It needs to feel like you're throwing a disc golf shot.
Right, because you're not.
Because there are people who, like, with resistance bands who might just do this or put them on the wall and kind of go like this. No. It needs, if you are doing it for the purpose of disc golf, it needs to be like a disc golf shot.
Right, and you can't just go through the motion of like that and think, oh, I'm going to build my arm up, I'm going to build muscle memory. No, because there's so many other mechanics, the hip, the foot placement, and all that stuff.
Yeah, ideally you want to do as much of that as you can, kind of like from a standstill. That's what you want to be doing when you use those.
Gotcha. Next one is we will jump to Jason. I saw a few posts on the internet. The internet's so elusive. With blue moonshine plastic. Is that an actual thing? And if so, where can I get some? Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Okay? Is it a real thing?
But also it's a thing, yes. Yeah, we've got like the Seafoam moonshine plastic.
Yeah.
And it just comes out, there's just some runs where they decide to do moonshine with it, like those old Amworld's Verdicts had it. We've had some Felons with it. We've had some Truths with it. Yeah. It exists. It's just more rare than the kind of clear, whitish plastic.
All right, 2 more speak pipe questions. This is again from Zach. Let's see what else he has to say.
Hey guys, Zach Swanson again. I'm a little tipsy, so that I'm having a hard time spitting out what I'm trying to say. But a big thing, I find that I'm lacking in distance on my drives. My approaches, it's the best part of my game, approaching, and then, putting. I'm making everything within 25 feet. Outside of that, I'm having a good percentage, not great, but I'm trying to add some distance, and I know you guys get this question a lot, but as somebody who doesn't get as much time as he'd like to play disc golf, to go out and play, to hit the field, any recommendations on how to add distance to my drives? I'm topping out at 350, and that's on a good day. 320 is about average. And I'm sure you guys are probably sick of this question, but if I sent you guys video of my form through Facebook or something, would you be willing to take a look at it and maybe let me know? I just don't know what to look for in my form because I'm not experienced enough. So thank.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Zach and I messaged about. And this question came in 4 days ago. So since then, I told him, go ahead and send a video into the Facebook group. To the Facebook group.
Has he done it yet?
We can check that out. I haven't seen it yet. But if you're just looking to increase distance in general, without seeing your form, there's not much we can do. I can tell you that Danny, even before he was employed by Dynamic Discs, has done a lot of videos about disc golf form and increasing your distance and things like that, making sure that you're doing all the right things. So, check those out. He's got a lot of them out there.
So I'm glad that he said I'm going to videotape, because that is a big thing. You need to videotape yourself and let other people watch your form, because you may not. Well, he says, I don't know what I'm looking for, but even if you think you know what you're doing or you think you got it right, other people might be able to pick up something that you're not quite sure. Or you may even, when you see yourself, you might go, "Well, I didn't realize I was, dipping my dipping."
That happens to me every time I watch myself throw, and it makes me sad.
That you dip your hip?
Not that I dip my hip. Or that when I dip, you dip, we dip.
We dip.
That's right.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. Why did that come through on that when I have notifications turned off? My bad if that blew your ears. This next one's from Jake. Where you at, Jake?
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. It's Jake from
Lost Jake. Where'd you go, Jake? Hold on, folks. I'm going to do a little refresh of the page.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. It's Jake from Washington State.
There we go.
I got a question in regards to just maintaining disc and cleanliness. Is it pretty common practice for professional players to clean their discs? I just did mine the other day and noticed a little bit of better grip out of it. But just thought I'd get your guys' feedback. Cool, thank you.
I mean, I've from watching and filming, I see a lot of pros definitely wipe down their discs before putting it back in their bag. Even, I mean, obviously if it's been raining, they try to dry it off. But if it's fairly muddy from the previous day's rain or something like that, you'll see a lot of them, really quick, just kind of wiping it down before. I would guess it depends on the pro. Do they want their discs super clean, or are they okay with it having a little bit of debris on there? I know there's been times where I'm not paying much attention. I'll put it back in there, and then the next day or the next time I play, there's crusted dirt dried on there.
Right.
I mean, I gotta imagine that affects the flight a bit.
A little bit. Probably not
to freak me out degree.
Right.
That's an actual measurement.
Yeah. I don't
freak me.
Scientific.
Freak me out degree. So I guess it would depend on the player, really.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people do it very frequently. I would say this: if you do wash your discs, you can use dish soap to get oils off of them and everything like that. But they're going to be a lot more slick because the oils in your hands create a feel on the disc that you're used to. Once you wash them, they are going to feel different. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I would say don't ever wash your putters with any sort of soap because they start to lose the tack. And that's what everyone likes their putters to feel just right. And if you wash them, the feel's totally different.
A big thing you'll see.
Water's fine.
You'll see on the internet is people washing them and drying them out in the dish rack or something like that. I definitely wouldn't recommend running them through the dishwasher.
No.
Because of the heat is going to not be good. Because it gets hot in the dishwasher. Hot.
Quite.
Hey, this next one is from Spencer. What's up, Disc Golf Answer Men? I was wondering if you guys have played any of the courses here in Manhattan, Kansas, and what your thoughts were. I don't think you have. Maybe Eric has. Maybe we'll save this one for Eric.
Yeah, save that for him. Yeah. I definitely have not.
Let's jump to Ross. Tell Rachel we were on a break. What?
Shay's been watching Friends lately. It's fun.
Okay. How important is stability in a putting putter? I putt with a Lat 64 Pure, but slight wind or too much snap makes me less consistent and more tentative than I should be. Admittedly, I need to practice much more than I do, but should I consider a more stable putting option like seemingly 99% of the pros use? I've convinced myself that I probably need to. However, my biggest hesitation is that Paige Pierce has proven to be an amazing putter in all conditions with the understable deputy.
Yeah, good question. Just like all things in putting, there is not a right or wrong way to do it. I think whatever putter gives you the most consistent results is the one you should stick with. I putt with the Warden, which isn't super duper overstable. It certainly isn't as overstable as a Slammer or Cenas or anything like that. But I don't know. I mean, you said it yourself. Paige putts with a deputy. That's a pretty darn understable putter, and she is good with it in the wind or in calm conditions. And so I don't think it has so much to do with the stability of the putter as just your comfortability with it. It may get a little bit more movement to the right or stay in the air a little bit longer if it's understable, but that's about it. I mean, if it's going to make you feel more confident, then go for it. If it's not, and you're just doing it because that's what everyone else does, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Next one comes from Anonymous, or at least they didn't put anything in the name field. I am sponsored by a vape and disc golf store. Their logo has vape stated pretty big. Am I allowed to wear their apparel to tournaments? My friends tend to say otherwise, so I'm a little scared to wear it.
You are allowed to wear it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the shirt itself is not vaping.
At majors.
And world championships.
That's right.
Then you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't even know what if someone wore something like super offensive, like outright just a 4-letter word?
I don't have a good answer for that because it hasn't happened before. I mean, as long as it's like a collared shirt.
Yeah. What if it's everything collared performance shirt and it says, go F yourself, but it has the 4-letter words.
I don't want to.
Are you looking that up, dress code? I mean,
yeah, let's see.
I wonder if that would be. Does anybody know on?
Oh, here
YouTube?
you go. Here you go. I assume this was in there, but I wasn't. Sure.
Here we go.
No offensive, profane, or obscene slogans or logos shall be allowed on anything. Or on any clothing. Junior players may not wear slogans or logos referring to alcohol, tobacco, or drugs. So if you're a
junior,
you can't.
You can't wear the vape even.
Yeah.
But if you're of vape age, then you can. As long
that
as
eventful period in everyone's life. Vape age.
The vape age.
Yeah.
As long as you're of vape age, then you can wear the vape shirt. But what if I'm offended by it? What if you wore...
I am offended.
What if... I mean, this will get too weird, too political or something.
What if when we both go to a tournament, I wear a shirt with your face on it? It's a polo shirt. It looks nice. And it has a big red circle with a red line through your face. In your face.
And what if I told the TD this is offensive?
Sorry. I find the Nike swoosh offensive personally, so everyone at the tournament who is wearing one, you're offending me. You can't wear that. I think there has to
be some kind of general
Yeah, I'm sure. If it's a personal attack like that, surely they would say something about it.
That's interesting.
On to the next.
Next one is Dusty. Nope. We'll save that one for Danny and Disc Golf Answer Man question answering. I'm looking. This one's from Elis. Unala. Wait. If it's two consonants, you have to draw it out, right? Unala.
Something like that, yeah.
Unala. Okay. I'm looking for a forehand max distance disc. I throw a katana, but it's too understable almost always. Innova doesn't really have a disc that would fit me, but I don't know about trilogy discs. Any thing you would suggest? I can throw about 110 meters, which is about 350 feet, I believe.
Currently throw a katana, but it's too understable almost always. I think you'd probably like a trespass. Trespass has some good movement to the right and good finish to the left for the right-hand backhand thrower. If that's something that is too understable for you, also you might like a Biofusion Enforcer. That's going to be quite a bit more overstable than a trespass, but you're not going to have to worry about it moving to the right a whole lot. Pretty consistent.
Excellent. All right, we got time for a couple more.
Let's do it.
This one is from Boss. No relation to Ross. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew, I have a question. I've always been considered a power player. I have good distance on my shots, and I'm throwing your typical trilogy bag. Defenders, enforcers, all the staples. I have no issue with the stability of these discs, but I want to disc down. Start using more understable and throw smooth technical shots at about 80% even for max distance. What are some discs you would recommend to really maximize glide and use less power per throw than your staple discs?
Sweet. The Trespass is a good fit for those if you're already used to defenders and enforcers. It's going to move a little bit right for you, or if you're a true power player and you're throwing 450 plus, the Trespass is going to be more of a hyzer flip to flat and then ride to the right for you all the way. Another one that really impressed me the other day was one of our new release Friday discs. That was the Moonshine Sword. And that was really nice, easy to throw on just a baby hyzer that stood up to flat and then just rode right just a little, but honestly was really, really straight. And I didn't have to throw that hard at all to achieve that flight. So
had you thrown the sword before that?
I had, but it had been a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This one is from Isaac, and it's about the Dynamic Discs team. So we got the perfect person to ask that.
Perfect. Here I am.
So, Anthony, no. All right. Question 2. Oh, take 2. Wait. We got to go back. I wonder if we had a question before that. Nope. I guess we lost his question before that because this says question 2. All right. Well, we'll just jump into question 2. Take 2. Just kidding. Thanks for taking my question, and missing my question doesn't matter.
Maybe he submitted it a while back.
I'm confused. I was wondering about being the Dynamic Discs junior team. I am 13 and I have been playing for a few years. I was wondering if there was a difference between sponsorship and being on the team, and what to do
What do both of them include?
Yeah, what do both of them include?
Yeah, good question. Sponsorship by Dynamic Discs and being on Team DD are the same thing. And for junior players, what that includes is mostly just some allocation that you can use on discs and bags and apparel and things like that. That's how that works. I will say, just like I tell to anyone who's asking about sponsorship, that the tough part about sponsorship is that there are always more qualified people than there are sponsorship positions available. So if you apply through their website and don't get put on the team, don't take it as an affront or that we think you are the worst or anything. It's just there are a whole lot of people who are really well qualified to be on the team, and we just can't take all of them. So that's that. You good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading something. This is a request more than a question. Next time we do an in the bag with our employees, please do it with Corey Obermeyer and include some shots of him driving from the tee. He seems to throw quite far with seemingly little effort.
That's true. Corey does throw far.
This is from Rumbled Bemused, otherwise known as Corey Obermeyer.
Otherwise known as Jackie.
Yeah, or Jackie. Yeah, no. So Corey Obermeyer is an employee here. He's actually going to school as well. And he is the 2013 or 14
distance
world amateur distance champion. And he threw it with a
air trespass 5 something.
Yeah.
It's pretty far.
Yeah. That was, obviously a few years ago. Let's see. That one is saved for Danny. That one will save Chris. Will y'all be coming down for amateur world championships in Charlotte this year? Also, what is y'all's favorite course to play in North Carolina?
Y'all. Chris, you now know the answer to this. We are not coming for Am World Championships in Charlotte this year. We did have some people there who represented Dynamic Discs, as well as some of our new team players were down there. I know Anthony Anselmo is one of our junior players who won the MJ12 division here at Junior Worlds. And he's from Charlotte, so I know he was down there, and he's been shredding lately. I think he's either 10 or 11, I don't remember which, and he shot a 1030 something rated around the other day. Okay, just easy 1030.
Jeez,
no big. It's pretty incredible, man.
That's cool. All right, next one comes from Brian. I've been playing for 6 months, and have learned an amazing amount of knowledge from you guys. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for that, Brian. My friends would not listen to me when I told them to work form with putter-only rounds and ditch the drivers. Now I can compete with them and now drive over 350 to 400 feet with a level, nose-down drive and throw putters straight 300 feet.
Pretty good.
Question. I see some dudes throwing hyzer flips that are comparable to my drives. When should I switch to flip for extra distance, and which discs work well with?
Okay, so
break it down.
I think what you're trying to ask is let me read through it again and just make sure.
Ahead.
So I think what you're trying to say is that you've been working on putter only rounds and you throw your normal regular old discs, not your putters, 350 to 400, pretty flat, and they go straight and finish kind of flat. And then you throw your putters 300 feet, pretty flat, straight, land flat. So what you're asking is when you should switch to hyzer flip for extra distance. It's all really just about throwing the shape that is best suited for you. If you're a good flat thrower, like AJ Risley comes to mind. AJ is a super duper good flat release thrower, and then he just lets the disc work for him. So sometimes that moves a little bit to the right and comes back left, or even a force over. He's really good at those as well. So if you can already throw what you need to with the shape that you've got, stick with that, use that. But I'd say when you'd want to switch to a hyzer flip is if you need something to start out on a hyzer and stand up to a little bit less than flat and continue to move to the left. Or if you want something to move to the right, you could do a hyzer flip with something pretty understable. For you in that speed range, something that you could hyzer flip would be either a trespass or a renegade, maybe a bio trespass you might really like, for something to start on just a little bit of hyzer, let it stand up to flat and then turn to the right. The renegade would certainly do that, even more so moving to the right. So I think I deciphered that as well as possible.
Got it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we let you go on the YouTube side, let's check out this sunset video that I put together for my vacation.
Right. And if you've got questions, not about the sunset video, but other questions.
No. If you have questions about Branson, Missouri and vacation,
you can do that.
I'll take them.
You can do that too.
But yeah, for our YouTube listeners, we'll take a few like we've done in the past. We'll take a few on the YouTube chat. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So we're going to watch this sunset real quick. Now, I think I got it figured out to where it won't be as loud for you guys. And you might still be able to hear me talking. This is kind of... So you can't see. But so that was it. That was my 10-second sunset.
Was it even 10 seconds?
Maybe it's less.
Oh, no, it's 10 seconds. You're right.
Yep, 10 seconds.
That's pretty cool looking, though.
So...
Did you swim in that little pool with the...
No, but it was one of those, what do they call them?
Infinity pool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, YouTube, if you have questions, you can go ahead and toss them out there for us. That'll probably be pretty much the end of the audio podcast, yeah?
Oh, well, I mean, if they got some good questions
okay,
on
sweet.
there, we might. Yep.
No problem. Yeah, so let's see. What do we have? You're going to talk with Eric later this week, but what do you have going on this week?
This week, I'm going to do some catching up, obviously. I'm pretty caught up on emails. We're going to be working on some videos and stuff. Let's see. I want to play some bag tags if we do bag tags on Wednesday because I haven't played with everybody in Emporia in a while. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, trying to get things planned out and together for Pro Masters. Because Eric McCabe will be the first Pro Masters he's played. It'll be the first Pro Masters. Yeah, because this is the second one, right?
Yeah.
The second Masters World, so it'll be his first playing, obviously, Masters. And so I'm going to do some video stuff with him down there and, of course, the other players that are there. So I want to get that figured out in my head as far as, because I'm taking the RV down there, getting an RV park scheduled and all that stuff. So
yeah, I started to look into that for Ledgestone today.
Oh, are you taking the RV?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Please don't break it before I take it.
We're gonna break it.
We're gonna break it. We're gonna break it.
Yeah, sorry. Luna just asked. Yeah, we are going to Ledgestone. Thank you for asking. Mr. Lowlife is asking, how far can Cynthia Ricciardi throw? She mashes. That's true. I think the longer shots that I saw Cynthia throw while she was here at Junior Worlds were around that 340 or 350 range. She can probably get one out farther than that, but I think she ended up tying for the distance world championship in her field, but I don't remember. I don't remember how far it was. I think it was around that 340 or something like that. But yeah, she throws far, very sure.
And if you are interested, hopefully you're a subscriber to us on YouTube. You'll see that we just put out Cynthia's In the Bag. Anthony recorded that with her and edited that together. So you get a good insight into what Cynthia is throwing as of this year so far. What do you got for Master Idiot? I'm starting to flip my convict. What's a good disc to change to so they don't flip? I got it. I think I know.
Okay.
The Getaway.
Ooh, yeah, the Getaway is a really good choice. That's not what I said, but I agree with you.
Oh, what did you say?
I said the Explorer or the Culverin.
Okay.
Those are both good options. Now, if you're wanting to stick strictly with DD, then definitely the Getaway is a good choice. I would say, even though they're the same speed, like they're both a 9-speed, I'd say the Getaway is a little bit faster than the Convict and is definitely more overstable. So, yeah, that's a really good question. Gustavo asked, anybody know how the Moonshine swords compare to the regular swords? I think the Moonshine has a touch more stability, but I haven't thrown one of the stock ones in quite a while, maybe 3 years ago or something. But the Moonshine one that I threw the other day, like I said earlier, really, really impressed me. That was awesome. Let's see. Luna asked if we're going to Ledgestone. Yes, we are. Caleb asked, Robert, did you try Taco Hangover in Des Moines? If so, what did you think? I did not try Taco Hangover.
Did you see it or even heard of it?
No, I didn't. We ate Tasty Tacos right by Ewing, and that was good. I had eaten there before. Their shells, the taco shells are like really
I saw
puffy,
the Snapchat or whatever.
Yeah, those are great.
It's kind of like the taco nuns here.
Yes.
It's a fried tortilla.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was awesome. Let's see. Daniel Woody says picks for Ledgestone.
We haven't done picks in a while.
Yeah, because we forgot.
We forget, and I was listening to some podcasts on my way back from Branson, Missouri, and I listened to the Upshot. I listened to On the Box with Dixon Jowers. Upshot is, of course, Alti Worlds. And then I had some time to listen to a little bit of PDGAs. And I started thinking there is already so many podcasts out there that talk about tournaments that I really love our format of Disc Golf Questions. We're here to help you improve your game. They're here to talk about, and of course, a few times, we'll talk about things that are hot topics in disc golf.
Sure.
But as far as play, I don't know that we can add any more than's already out there that people are talking about. So now that doesn't mean you can't keep playing the skip ace. We do need to do that. Let me take a look at that while you look at some other questions and see how people are doing.
Definitely. If I was forced, if my hand was forced to pick for Ledgestone right now,
that's hand.
You're forcing my hand.
Yeah.
I will take. Oh man. Macbeth played really well out there last year. Well, obviously Josh Anthon played really well out there last year because he just shredded. Man, I don't know. I guess I said this earlier in the year, and I'll say it again. Until Ricky forces me to choose otherwise, I'll pick Ricky. I think Ricky is always a threat to win any tournament he enters. Is Eagle going to be there? If Eagle's going to be there, he's obviously playing really well as well. And, Macbeth, you can never count him out, especially after 18 under earlier this year. That's just ridiculous. So that's what I would choose. That's a course where it seems like you can try and play safe and put down a pretty good score, or you can go for it. Like, you're going to have to go for a lot of things to put down a really good score, but there's a lot of danger associated with that.
Now, is this the first? Because Ricky has been overseas. Had he played anything since?
He's been back.
What did he play in?
He's been back. I don't remember.
I guess I'm not paying attention enough.
That's fine.
All events. Who is in the lead with all events? Daniel Woody.
Oh, that's who's asking about picks for Ledgestone.
That's why he's asking. He wants to maintain that lead, huh?
I didn't tell him anything he didn't already know. I mean, those are arguably the 3 best players in the world. So,
Music City Open. Who won that? Ronald Harkey.
By 10 points.
By 10 points. Who did he pick?
Super
Ronald
close.
Harkey picked Chris Dickerson.
Yep.
Cameron Colglazer, Zach Melton, and James Conrad. Zach got 4th place, right?
I was going to say, if I remember correctly, that's finishers 1 through 4.
Oh, nice.
So that's good.
Yeah. And then Madison and Elaine King.
And they were 1 and 2 on the women's side.
Nice. Ronald Harkey, if you're listening, take a screenshot of you being logged into this Skip Ace. Send an email to bobby@dynamicdiscs.com, and we have a disc for you. And also, who's in the lead, I said? We're not going to give away for the lead yet. Sorry, Daniel. We'll do that at the end. Who won it in Idlewild? Aleem. Same thing, Aleem. You beat the last person by 13 points. So, or the person in second place, he picked James Conrad, Nate Perkins, Grady Shue, and Paul Macbeth, and Sarah Holcomb and Jessica Weiss. Send me a screenshot of you being logged into your Skip Ace Fantasy Disc Golf account, and I will send a disc out to you. Include your address, obviously.
Yeah, please. Okay, here's a question. Robert, you feeling confident about being 1,000 rated by the end of the year?
We actually talked about this a little bit.
Confident?
Des Moines.
I wouldn't say confident.
So we're more than halfway through the year.
Yeah.
We are in the 8th month. Real quick, here's the elevator pitch version. Yeah. I told, at one point, we had someone that worked here, and I told them, you will not do better at disc golf. The person was determined to do better at disc golf and found out his rating went down 15 points the last time I checked, which was a while back.
Yeah. This person wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. But Robert McCall got hired. We were all happy, disc golf, and I just happened to say,
now that you work in disc golf, you're going to be worse.
You're going to be worse at disc golf. And, of course, Robert, being the competitor that he is, he said, nope, I will do better. And I'm like, nope, you're not going to be able to practice as much. It's just a whole different story. He said, nope, I'm going to do it. And so I said, put your money where your mouth is. He started crying. It was really bad.
I don't remember that last part.
Oh, you don't remember that part? No. Okay. No. So of course we put the bet. We put a bet on it. We made it. Made it interesting. So if Robert has to get 1,000 rated somewhere between about a year ago and December 31st, 2018. If he does not, then he owes me lunch, and I get to Dyemax anything I want on a disc, and he has to put it in his bag, and he has to throw it. Vice versa, if he does reach 1,000, and it was looking pretty good for a while. Were you going to make it?
Well, I mean, I'm still not out of it by any means. I just haven't I've been just under what I'm rated right now.
Right
now, to my credit, though this wasn't the bet, my rating has gotten better since I've started here.
That's true.
But the bet was for 1,000.
Right. So he has improved. So he hasn't gotten worse. So now I don't know if the bet had something to do with you playing better. If it was just kind of a little nudge, you think? No.
The bet has nothing to do with my play. In fact, if anything, it hurts it, because when I get out to the course, sometimes I'm like, all right, I got a freaking bet to win. I gotta play smart. I will say one thing that kind of hurt me this last time, and that I think ultimately probably won't make a difference in the rating. But I got down to the end of Des Moines Challenge, not playing a great last round, but figured if I birdie this last hole, that's pretty much the only chance I have of cashing, right? And because I really hadn't played well, and I got to the end, I got to that hole, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be aggressive. And I got a little too aggressive and went in the woods and got a 5 when I would normally just get an easy 3, probably very rarely a 2, but easy 3. And that took that round from 990 something to 970 something because I was trying to cash, And so let it be said, let it be known, I'm not protecting my rating just for the sake of this. I can't help but compete. I want to do the best that I can.
Yeah, you're a competitor, regardless of this bet.
Right. So I'm at 995 right now. This last tournament that I played, I bet I averaged 980 something. Not great. But I've got a few tournaments left this year. I've got Ledgestone coming up this weekend. I'll play Nantucket before Worlds. And then after that, I've got to figure out what I'm going to play that can yield some good ratings and push me up there.
We have our little Mevo live camera thing. I still have that. So I think we're going to go live. It doesn't matter who wins, but when we go do our lunch, we'll go live.
That sounds good.
But we our fans deserve this. I don't know how we'll pull this off. Maybe we'll need to make a day trip out to Tulsa
for Torchies.
Yeah,
I'm so interested. I am super duper interested.
Leave super
loser has to drive.
Okay, leave or maybe leave on a Friday night, stay in a hotel, get up, play a Tulsa course.
Okay.
Go eat lunch and then head home.
Okay, I'm interested. Yep.
And then go live.
Yep.
At the lunch at Torchy's Tacos.
At the end of the day, I get to eat Torchy, so I don't care if I win or
lose. Maybe the loser has to eat with the winner. If it doesn't matter, it's all good.
No, it's all good. Everyone will be happy.
No, the loser has to watch the winner eat the queso and chips without eating any.
No. Hard pass on that.
That's just inhumane.
That's just messed up.
No, I think that sounds fun.
So anyway, to answer your question, I wouldn't say I'm confident. I would say I still have plenty of time and know that I can play a lot better than I have lately. I just got to put it together. That's it.
All right, we're kind of just chattering. Any real questions coming on?
Rec Rob says, in your experience with Wardens, what plastic would you consider the most stable for driving? Hybrids are pretty good for that. Lucids are pretty good for that, and Fusions are pretty good for that. They're all pretty close. If you find a Fusion with some dome on it, or a Moonshine is actually pretty stable as well. Those are the most stable ones. The Classic, Burst, and Soft will all be a similar stability to start, but it'll work in just a little bit more quickly. I think that's it.
I think Mr. Quartz has the best idea. Why not breakfast for Torchies, play the course, and have Torchies for lunch?
Yes. Duh. I'm down.
You're down. Favorite Tulsa course? I don't know.
I haven't played in Tulsa before.
Ever?
Nope.
Man, I'll have to figure out which course to play then, because obviously I want you to see the
best one.
The best one. The Red Hawk or the Black Hawk or the Mohawk Park courses are typically the ones that a lot of people like to play.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to play whatever. I don't care.
Nice. All right, guys.
Is it going to be in January, like right after the rating happens?
Oh gosh, it's going to be. Well, it depends the way the weather's
Maybe we
been.
can
It
wait.
might actually be nice weather.
Okay.
The way the weather has kind of been weird.
Maybe we can wait.
Wasn't it?
We'll see.
We'll see. Would it be possible for us, the Disc Golf Show, to make a trip out to you guys to check out the shop warehouse for some content interview? Just got to figure out. Of course.
Anytime.
We'll
be here.
Only if you have a podcast. Not just anybody can show up, but if you have a podcast, we will make an exception and we will show you around the warehouse anytime you want.
Unless we're in Tulsa eating at Torchies.
Yes, unless you bring us Torchies.
In which case, you're welcome anytime. Literally anyone, you're welcome.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you.
We did it.
Whoa. All right, so that's it for the audio.
We really did it.
We really did it. We didn't do any what events are coming up, no advertising, no nothing. No, nobody knows anything that's happening.
Hey,
so.
Luckily, you have another episode this week that you can do that.
I know we can do that. Will you bring Danny so he can film that round in Tulsa? Is it true that most pros avoid playing in elevation since the discs fly differently? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say that. I was working solely on distance. It seemed to have killed my distance for a few rounds. I could see that. I just discovered this sport and bought my first set of discs. Now I'm working on my technique. Got one putter from Catablast and one Innova
Castablast.
What did I say?
Catablast.
Catapult.
Castablast.
I think it's all I need for now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, different strokes for different folks, so that's totally fine. I would probably get a neutral mid-range to use if it was me, but you do you.
Henrique.
Yeah.
All right, so how do I end this on YouTube? How do I end this madness? All right, guys, thanks. Oh, did they see everything they wanted to see?
What?
Did you guys want to see the fireworks again?
What? Did people request that?
I think so. Did someone say they wanted to see Top of the Rock again?
Can't switch video, man.
Did it say that?
That's what it said just now.
Oh, on my side? I thought maybe it said that on the screen. Just work. Hey, I figured, why won't it let me erase it?
It did the sunset just a second ago.
I know, it won't let me remove the clip. Danny, I figured out how to make the sound play, or make it to where the sound doesn't override on the clip.
Anthony found that too, his little checkbox.
No, I found it first. Why wouldn't it let me?
Are y'all live still?
Yeah, I'm trying to do something too.
Just checking it out, just testing it out, you know.
The last 70 people that are still on with us.
Benjamin Medlock is graciously offering to come and caddy for me if his round is over. So that's awesome. I'll have my cart. It's a pretty easy caddy job, but thanks. That sounds awesome.
I don't get it. Why is it not letting me remove that one? Now it will let me. That's weird. There we go.
All right, here you go. Protect your ears, headphone listeners.
No, I got it turned down. I figured it out.
Disregard protecting your ears.
Watch. So, see, so it picks it up there. I say on, or I say off, and then I should play. All right, guys. I know. Sorry, guys. We'll experiment later. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. You guys are the best.
Yeah. See y'all later this week sometime.